New York Comic Con 2023. What's the news?
And what are the vibes?
A lot of stuff was introduced. Got a couple new events, some new titles. Definitely, first, I'm excited about the Ultimate Universe coming back.
Yeah, but not really the Ultimate Universe. A new Ultimate Universe.
Yeah, it's a new Ultimate Universe, but the fact that there is an Ultimate Universe is back. Yeah,
they're calling it, but it's a different Earth.
Yeah,
but the point is, right? It's a fresh slate.
Yeah,
it's like they did 20 years ago, and I mean, Ultimate Spider-Man. I mean, you told me so much about it, and from what I understand, Sam Raimi used pretty much that.
Yeah, as like a baseline, and then just base off of that, like the organic webs. But this Ultimate Universe obviously is going to be a little more popularized than the last one because no one really cared about that one, which is why they deleted it.
Yeah, they're going to try to do something. So what are the titles coming out?
So we got Ultimate Universe #1, Jonathan Hickman and art by Stefano Caselli. And Jonathan Hickman obviously coming from X-Men, being the head of X for that.
Leading right into the Krakoa area, right?
Yeah. So,
and also
in great hands.
Secret Wars, right? He did Secret Wars.
Yeah. Secret Wars as well. Also, amazing titles. Avengers. He has his hand in everything.
Yeah.
So, definitely Ultimate Universe #1. Ultimate Spider-Man #1. Also by Jonathan Hickman. Art by Marco Checchetto.
Last names are hard sometimes.
I'm going to say Checchetto. Definitely excited for the new Ultimate Spider-Man, just because the old one was so it's like almost like a cult classic, because it leading up to like the introduction of Miles Morales, it's such a staple in the Marvel community. But I'm excited to see where they take Ultimate Spider-Man #1. That'll be a great read. Anything Hickman puts his hands on is a great read.
Absolutely.
Then we have Ultimate Black Panther with Brian Hill, who I read Fallen Angels in the X-Men series. That was really good. Art by also Stefano Caselli. And then we have Ultimate X-Men, written and art by Peach Momoko. And she's coming off of her Momoko universe, her Marvel universe, in like an alternate reality where she kind of makes her own like Japanese style, Japanese art universe for Marvel. So that's the Ultimate Universe side for
so far
from Comic-Con. That's all that's been released so far. And what about some DC?
Well, DC led off this weekend with a pretty big announcement that the Elseworld logo is coming back. The initiative is coming back. I don't know if you know too much about Elseworlds.
The only thing I know about Elseworld is Robert Pattinson Batman is like in the Elseworld era. Like not quite canon, but not quite ignored. It's popularized.
Yeah. So the Elseworld logo was pretty much, it's designed to be put on a story that is not in the main universe. It is, as of now, they're all canon somewhere in the universe because of Infinite Earths. They can literally just say, oh yeah, that happened somewhere.
Yeah, it was Elseworld. Yeah.
One of the worlds out there, some else world, if you will.
Yeah. Peach Momoko's Marvel universe would be Elseworld.
Yeah. So it's that, and I'm very happy about this because it's showing that DC really does like to use its Infinite Earths. They brought it back for a reason. So they're going to utilize it.
And that's where you get your cult followings. All your smaller stories with a dedicated audience, that's great for comics.
Yes. And then like the past year, we had like two different kind of universes that spawned, where it was like there was a Jurassic League where all the heroes were dinosaurs, and then there was DC Mech where they all had big mech suits, and it was like Pacific Rim kind of fight. It was really, they're just fun stories.
Yeah.
And just putting the Elseworld logo on them, it immediately allows fans to go, okay, that is not main continuity. I don't have to read it, but if it looks fun, I'm going to go grab it.
Yeah.
And it just shows that. But we also have some. They also announced some series that are coming for that. Gotham by Gaslight. I believe it's coming back. It's called. They're doing the Kryptonian Age, so I guess they're introducing Superman in that, or Supergirl.
Yeah,
they could have been. It could just. They could be like, oh yeah, there's a Kryptonian now, and it's actually Supergirl.
It's actually Crypto.
Crypto.
Yeah.
Batman the Barbarian. I don't really like to pick up a bunch of different Batman books because they overuse them, but that kind of sounds fun.
Yeah.
As Batman, like as Conan. Green Lantern Dark. And then sequels to Dark Knights of Steel, as well as, the DC versus Vampire series, as they've been doing that. That's what they've announced so far, Elseworld, so they'll be coming out more in 2024.
I mean, that ties into the next Marvel news with Blood Hunt, which is the Marvel event with vampires in it. So Blood Hunt, I'm actually really excited about. They released a trailer, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks a little dark. They're leading with the tagline, "Who will bite it?" So obviously, someone's gonna die in this event. Now, a lot of classic characters are in it. Iron Man, Scarlet Witch, Vision, Moon Knight, the Avengers. Like, it's a lot of stakes here. So I'm excited to see who actually will bite it. And the Blood Hunt event is written by Jen McKay, who's done Avengers, Doctor Strange, Moon Knight. Definitely has his hand in all those characters
all
for that
those
event.
series, all those series are currently pretty loved right now.
Yeah, and art by Pepe Larraz and Marty Garcia. So, what's your next DC news from Comic?
Well, DC's doing a weird thing that, like, I think we need more information for it to really get into it. But they announced DC Heroes United, and it's a weird. I guess it's going to be all online, but they have a bunch of different writers on it, and what they're trying to do is that the fans are going to be deciding what happens in this
nice.
mini universe, I guess.
Okay. Kind of like Marvel versus DC, you get to vote in.
Kind of like that back in the day. But we'll see what it really end up feeling like. Who knows? It might catch on. It might, but I'm not really too confident in it. But I'll check it out once we get more information.
So next Marvel news, we have Avengers Twilight, which is actually interesting because they released a trailer for that. Centered around Captain America, who apparently with the photo he's Senator Rogers, and it's focused on like a dystopian, like cyberpunk future, maybe a little bit of like an Injustice vibe going on.
Yeah.
But and it's interesting because the worst character to have that would be Captain America, because he's already out of time, and then you're gonna bring him even a further degree out of time because he's like, oh man, all this technology, I don't understand it. Now he's in like a cyberpunk hyper technology, everything's like neon, like this is like way too advanced for Captain America. It's like, I just got used to this. I just got used to the technology. Now it's like all the way up here. The tagline for Avengers Twilight is "The future needs to be avenged." Now I'm thinking this might be a time travel issue.
Maybe.
In the trailer they were in like a ship, like the Avengers were in a ship, and there was like a blue glowing orb in the middle of them. There might be like some time travel going on, or either that Steve Rogers is from our universe, or that's the future universe of Steve Rogers.
What I got from it was that like this is supposed to be a supposed future, and so they're just using like, hey, it's in the future. The future's got to be avenged. The Avengers of the future need to avenge it. That's what I got from it.
Okay.
It could. I mean, like this is by Chip Zdarsky, right?
Yeah. So Chip Zdarsky and Daniel Acuna, those two are working on Avengers Twilight.
Yeah, great team. But I wouldn't put it past Zdarsky to go at the end of it, like the last two issues, all of a sudden our Avengers show up from the past, and they actually have to avenge the future, and he's like, no, I'm serious about that tagline.
Like take it literally, like it has to be avenged. Come on guys, out of the ship.
I wouldn't put it past Chip based on what he's done in Batman so far. So, some of the more ridiculous stuff, that like falling from the moon to Earth safely. A bit ridiculous, but it's fun. Yeah. So now there's been a bit of news for Superman. Superman's been doing pretty well this year, in my opinion. I think we got a new Superman title by Joshua Williamson. They restarted that. It's been going great so far. and Action Comics has been doing really good in my opinion. I've been really liking it. And what they announced next year for Action Comics is that they're going to be putting, like, guest writers are going to be taking over for small, oversized arcs.
Oh, okay.
Now, I don't know what this means for Philip Kennedy Johnson. They didn't really specify into that. I don't think he's going to be on Action Comics anymore, which to me will be a little sad because I do like his writing. But he's still writing Green Lantern War Journal, the Green Lantern ongoing starring Jon Stewart.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah. So he's still writing that. But what they've announced starting in 2024 with the arc I, Bizarro. And
nice.
that will be written by Jason Aaron, followed by Joshua Williamson taking over. And finally, what we've been teased about for, at that point, it'll be about a year and a half, Brainiac is coming.
Oh, nice.
But it's Brainiac Queen, a new character.
Oh, okay.
They released some art by Dan Mora. We'll show that here. But Joshua Williamson, I mean, he's pretty much been heading the DC universe, the dawn of DC, as we've been hearing about it. And there's always been that hint from the roadmaps and everything that Brainiac's coming. This is it. That's what's going to happen. It's going to hit in Action Comics first. Yeah. And then we're going to get into the real heart of Dawn of DC storyline.
Yeah, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, a little sad, but a little exciting at the same time.
Yeah,
oversized Action Comics.
Yeah.
Bizarro and then Brainiac arcs.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. I love hearing anything Bizarro. Like, because it's such a it's such a outcast character, but you can do so much with it.
Oh yeah.
Like all the weird characters, that's like a bread and butter. Like you gotta have that.
There's a whole there's a whole universe in the DC multiverse where they're just Bizarros.
Yeah.
They're all Bizarros.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, a lot of chaotic energy there. So the next Marvel news is actually Spider-Man Gang War. And it looks like there's a power vacuum happening. And there's a lot of Spider-Man villains that are going to be coming in. And you love a Spider-Man when he's distracted by all these villains just running amok everywhere.
Yeah, I've seen some promo images of this. And it's going to be happening I believe, in January through March. And it's just going to be a bunch of Spider-Man characters, some Defenders. I saw Luke Cage in there. Yeah. And
he's gonna need all the help he can get. Already, like you got Tombstone, Kingpin, Typhoid Mary. Like everyone wants a piece of New York.
Yeah. And over here on the DC side, they announced a new Black Label book, Hellblazer: Dead in America, coming in January. A new Constantine book. So I'm definitely picking this one up. I love Constantine, and I can't wait to see it.
All the depths of hell that he'll take to finish the job. That's probably what the Black Label is meant for, and I'm definitely excited for that. And the last bit of Comic-Con news, we have the X-Men ending their Krakoa era with Fall of the House of X and Rise of the Powers of X, and then the resurrection of Magneto.
Yeah, just coming straight out and announcing the resurrection of a big character. He's been dead for about a year. Like he died at the end of Judgment Day.
Yeah.
So he's been dead this whole year.
Yeah.
And now he's coming back at the beginning of next year. Mm-hmm. So he's been dead for a little bit more than a year. That's a pretty long time for an X-Men in this day and age.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it has to be like the most like controversial issue, I feel like, because in Judgment Day and in the end of Judgment Day, Magneto makes it perfectly clear he does not want to be resurrected.
But they're coming back.
They're making it like he's needed to actually fight off
what's coming.
Yeah. And the House of X and the Powers of X, the first issue of the Krakoan eras was a perfect story. It set up Krakoa really well. Like the backstory, everything made sense. It jumped from the past to the future, flipping back and forth. When you're reading, you're getting like time travel whiplash, basically going back and forth. And the ends of it, it becomes a coherent one story. And it was written so well. I'm actually so excited they're doing the same format for the end of it, going back and forth through time, fighting against the same presented evil with Nimrod, Omega Sentinel, and fighting against basically the extinction of mutants and the rise of like this binary, like technological, like assimilation basically of all life. And I'm so excited. Like just looking at the trailer for that, I feel like they're gonna need Magneto. So it's just a good thing that Magneto comes back. But I'm definitely excited for the end of the Krakoa era because they're gonna go out with a bang.
And that's coming on early next year too.
Yeah.
All these
That's
things
January,
are going to be January to March.
Yeah.
And I'm sure at the end of the year we'll get more about New Comic Book Day news and
But definitely for Marvel and DC, 2024 is starting out very well.
I think we got some good things. DC's having a great year with on a DC initiative. It's been pretty good. I've been hearing a lot of good things from the community about it.
Definitely excited about next year.
So that was the news.
Now on to the vibes. And coming back from Comic-Con, we obviously have this wide array of stuff in front of us.
Mostly comics, because that's who we are. We read the comics. We're going to Comic-Con for the comics. Now we brought our significant others there with us, as well as a few friends who do not read comics like us. They are not
never been to Comic-Con before.
Well, mine has. My wife actually has been to Comic-Con by herself. Before I even went. She goes because there's a lot of cool cosplay. There's really cool merch. She really loves all the different types of merch. It's huge floor full of it.
Yeah, but it was all around a good time. My friends who haven't been to Comic-Con before really enjoyed themselves. Got to meet some of their favorite celebrities in like the Star Wars scene and everything. Got photo ops, and it's just a great place for fans. If you're a fan of something geeky or nerdy or like anything in that realm, it's a great place.
Anime.
Yeah,
a lot of anime booths.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big anime booths on the floor.
Yeah.
Comic-Con vibes are really cool if you're into any of that stuff. Not even all of that stuff, just any of the stuff. It's not just for comics, comic people, but
it's grown to any fan base that's grown large enough to have a clique.
Yeah,
it's stuff small and large. It just culminates everything nerdy.
I would still argue that it is best for comic book fans because they have the whole Artist Alley, which is where we spent like most of our time,
or all of it.
Or all of it, in your case, waiting for some people, and we like actually meeting the creators, meeting the authors and artists on these books and getting them signed. I met like Tom Taylor. I met one of my favorite writers, Jeremy Adams, had to actually talk with him, asked him a few questions. He was excited to talk to me. I was really excited to talk to him, and we had a really cool back and forth. Yeah. And so for comic fans, it's so awesome. And
that connection with fans is important for like artists and creators and anyone who's in the comic book space. Because like if you're writing and you don't, it's like being a comedian without an audience. Like that feedback is very important because it reminds them of the reason why they're doing it in the first place, the fans.
Yep.
And they're buying the comic books, they have all the Reddit pages, all the fan pages and the forums, blogs, and like all the fan fictions and all that. Like that's all part of it. Like I got to meet one of my favorite Deadpool writers, Jerry Dugan, and then he drew a little Deadpool for me in the corner. That's like, that stuff's great. Like you get to meet your favorite creators, and that's just a great area.
We both met Alyssa Wong. We both had read the new Deadpool run, and we didn't realize she was going to be there. She was there. We both met her and got an autograph.
So great that we each got one. So that was good. But always stuff to find. Always and like exposing yourself to new creators, new writers, new art,
and it's really cool. And the biggest downside is just the crowds. There's so many people there.
Yeah,
it's just a wall of people sometimes, and then you're trying to walk through some of the floor, and it's just you can't really go anywhere. So it's a bit hard. It is a big, I think, detractor from it, but
because it's a bit ironic with most like the biggest gathering of introverts and hermits that you've ever seen. Like,
a lot of times, and a lot of people are very friendly. It's that kind of experience, and I would definitely recommend it to like any comic book fan, just to go for like one day. Like we went last year and this year. We both went on Sunday. Sunday is perfect day. The people who bought the 4-day passes, a lot of them aren't showing up for all day Sunday because they've seen everything at that point. They want to just leave. They're really tired from walking all day because you walk about 10 miles.
A lot of walking.
A lot of walking.
A lot of standing in lines, a lot of walking.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a really good, unique experience that definitely all comic book fans should try if you live in an area of a con, to go to one of those, especially some of the big cons. We gotta get to a smaller con sometime next year just to see what those are like more. But for New York Comic Con,
it's a great atmosphere.
It's a great spot.
Yeah,
it's a great spot.
So that wraps up our Comic Con 2023 experience. Now I'm just going to leave you with one final message. We don't like comics because they remind us who we are. They remind us who we can be. And you don't need superpowers to be a hero for someone else. Have you done something nice for somebody today? If not, that's all right. There's always tomorrow. We'll see you in the next one.